Hi, y'all. So I'm back, and I am doing this very candidly. Oh my goodness. Hey, this is something I like never do. So, oh yeah, so I was on the phone with my aunt, and she got this call, and it was someone from, I don't know if I should say their name or not. Yeah, I guess I can say it. It was someone from Primerica, and they were like, they addressed her by her name, and she was like, yeah. She already sounded skeptical, and they were like, Miss whatever her name. She was like, yeah, and they were like, I have your cousin here. She needs your help, da, da, da. And I was like, oh my god, they're trying to sell her something. So she's, and I think she she was like, oh, this is someone like pretending like my cousin's in danger. But then our someone who I assume is our cousin is on the phone, and she's like, hey, I need to talk to you about my surgery next week. I'm still not entirely sure this is our cousin, first of all, but you know what, whatever. My aunt seems to believe so maybe that's her voice. But her niece, my cousin, my aunt's daughter, she hangs up. She goes, I'm gonna call you back. She hangs up the phone on me. So but at this time I'm like looking them up, and I'm like, no, these people. This sounds like a multi-level marketing scheme, like a pyramid scheme. And you know what? I think I'm correct. Well, I'm correct. It is. It's literally just like your run of the mill, your run of the mill Amway, but it's for insurance and like financial services. But I came across this article, and this is why I was like, okay, yeah, I'm correct. This is a pyramid scheme. And I got like a paragraph in, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell a story about this, because I also had an experience like this with someone I knew from college. And I was like, no, like she's too smart to be in a pyramid scheme or like a multi-level like marketing scheme. I was like, she's too smart to fall for that, because I took high school marketing, and they teach you like pretty heavily about it and like what it is, and pretty much like don't do multi-level marketing. It's just a pyramid scheme. But everyone does not know that, first of all, and like no one is like too smart to get scammed. Like fraud can happen to anyone, and like that's why I say this. It's no one is above it. Can happen to anyone, and like no one is above it. And I've had plenty of friends who have been scammed or who've like had fraud committed against them because of things like this, and no one should feel like too vulnerable to report it to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. You know what? It's gonna come across which one you're supposed to report it to. So I'm gonna read this person's experience right here, how I got recruited into a pyramid scheme at Barnard career fair, and then I'm also gonna show you pictures and tell you about mine. I never thought taking down a multi-level marketing play would be on the agenda for my very first week of college. On the first on the first Friday of fall 2022 classes, I went to the for-profit opportunities fair hosted by Beyond Barnard's Career Center. Okay, I will say that it's already a red flag to go to a for-profit opportunities fair. Um, well, maybe not. I guess a lot of companies are for profit. But when I hear that, I think of like those like for-profit colleges, and I'm like, oh no, that sounds scammy already. Like, because I'm pretty sure for-profits are different than like LLCs or like 5013Cs or I don't know. But when I was there, I stopped by a booth held by a company named Primerica. The representative was a super friendly, bubbly woman who seemed to truly enjoy her job. She said Primerica was a company geared toward helping middle-income families learn how to manage their money. She told me how most insurance companies aren't transparent to their clients and lie to them about interest rates. Primerica's aim is to help ordinary people gain financial literacy and see past what regular insurance companies are telling them. She mentioned the prospect of flexible part-time work hours, which seemed to be perfect for a full-time college student. The guy on the phone also he said that our cousin was working with them part-time, which that's to me that's just like recruitment, honestly. But let's go further, because like they're obviously calling to recruit my aunt. But I thought to myself, wow, this company seems super cool. I would get to truly help people and change lives. Her words seemed slightly bombastic and vapid, but I accounted for that with my lack of concrete financial knowledge. I gave the representative my resume, and she told me she'd call in a few days to schedule a time to do an interview. That was quick, I thought. She took one glance at my resume and agreed to interview me on the spot. I thought about all the other people who could have come to the booth too. They must have also gotten interviews. How many would that have been? I estimated it could be at least 50 other students. The promise of an interview was exciting, but a part of me knew it felt too good to be true. I assumed the representative was just lying to me or letting me down easy. She would probably never follow up. A friend of mine, also a first year, walked up to the booth, heard the same pitch, and was offered an interview. I was happy for her, but still suspicious. Is this company really giving out interviews to everybody who drops off a resume? I later left the fair and told my parents about the encounter. They thought it seemed legitimate. Primerica's on the stock exchange, so they must be an actual insurance company. Above all else, I think they were just happy to see that I got a real job interview. Okay, I will say this too. There's a lot of MLMs on the stock exchanges to make them legit. The stock exchange is also like not that legit. It's like a legit thing, but it's just like gambling. The stock exchange is literally just like going to the casino. Yes, you can like play the game well. You know, like there's, but it's even so like it's not like counting cards unless I mean for some people it actually is like counting cards. But us regular folk, we're not those people. So just because a company is on the stock exchange, just because it's being publicly traded, does not mean that it's legit, which is like really unfortunate. But there are signs to look out for, which I can tell you later. A day or two later, the same representative called my friend and I. I didn't have my phone on me, so it went straight to voicemail. My friend answered the call though, and told me the representative wanted us to go to the downtown office from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. the upcoming Tuesday night for a workshop. Workshop? Well, I call an interview a workshop. I kept thinking about how many people would be there. We got quote unquote interviews, so it was reasonable to assume everyone else who went to the booth had the same outcome. How about career fairs at other schools or LinkedIn? There could be hundreds of people at this workshop for all I knew. It felt off. I'm so sorry. It's like so funny. Trust your gut, guys. Trust your gut. Later that day, I looked at Primerica online. The first thing that showed up on the people also asked section was, is Primerica a legit company? The response that followed was, yes, Primerica is a trustworthy company. This answer was taken directly from the company's website. They linked the website. I'm not going to click it though. I scrolled down and found 2 additional testimonials. No, Primerica is not an MLM, and no, Primerica is not a pyramid scheme. Understanding the basic concept of rhetorical ethos, I knew I couldn't trust this. I decided to check out their Wikipedia page. They also linked the Wikipedia page. Sure enough, it was listed as a multi-level marketing company and even hosts lavish conventions. That is literally like the common thing for like MLMs are like, okay, the top sellers get to go to these conventions. You also like you have to pay for these conventions, but like top sellers, they get to go for free. I told my friend, oh, they have a picture too of the convention. I told my friend about my findings. Although we understood what Primerica's motives were and didn't plan on attending the workshop, we were concerned about other students who went to the booth at the career fair. We agreed to go to the Beyond Barnard office and call to attention to the fact that there was an MLM recruiting students on campus. We knew we wanted to maintain respect. We weren't going to walk into an office with an air of superiority and say, hey, there's a pyramid scheme at your career fair, by the way. Instead, we're going to phrase it like a question. Can you tell us how you think we should respond to this opportunity we were offered? Then we'll weave in the facts of the matter. We asked the secretary at Beyond Barnard who to talk to. Y'all could have just gone in and been like, hey, I think there was a pyramid. There was like a MLM there. You didn't have to be as obnoxious about it, but you could have also been like, hey, I think there was an MLM there, and then present the evidence. But this is still fine. We asked the secretary at Beyond Barnard who to talk to about a career fair question, and were provided the emails of the career fair managers. A copy of my original email is provided below. Hi, my name is, and I am a first-year student at Barnard. I recently attended the for-profit career fair along with my friend, who I copied on this email. We stopped by the Beyond Barnard office today and were giving these emails by the person at the front desk. We wanted to reach out regarding a company we talked to at the career fair, Primerica. We each gave the representative our resumes and received a call a day or two after asking us to meet for a workshop at the downtown office on Tuesday. This seemed a little off to us, as it felt like they were hiring us on the spot before even interviewing us. After further research, we figured out that they were a multi-level marketing company. We wanted to ask for your opinion on Primerica. Does this seem like a legitimate offer or an unwise opportunity to take? Please let us know what you think. Best. The representative from Beyond Barnard responded quickly and asked if I could give her a call. I called her later that day and explained the entire situation in as much detail as I can remember. She told me that it sounded a little off, but that since Primerica has a handshake profile, it means they've been vetted and are a legitimate company. For reference, I use handshake too. This is how I think my friend got looped in. This is why I thought to bring her up as well. The person that I know. The person I know. This is how She also mentioned that a workshop could always... For reference, Handshake is the collegiate job recruitment platform that Barnard students use. A lot of liberal arts schools use it, and as well as... I know that the college my sister went to use in their state school, so state schools use Handshake as well. She also mentioned that a workshop could always mean a networking event instead of a job offer. Ultimately, she told me to exercise caution in my career search and that I did not have to go to the workshop unless I really wanted to. I could always call Primerica back and ask what the workshop entails. That is a horrible career officer. She should have straight up told her no. Like, she didn't want to admit that they, like, I feel like she thought the students were like, kind of like coming for them for not vetting. Honestly, Barnard students probably would. But the people that go to the career office, like, they're not going to like come for you for like not, for like that happening. Because like I said, it could happen to anyone. But she should have been straight up with them and been like, no, yeah, you're right. That's an MLM. Our bad. And like, not even their bad. Like, it's Handshake. It's Handshake's bad. Handshake is not like the school. I thanked her for her time and hung up, disappointed and relieved. That's it. I knew it was an MLM. I understood that Barnard trusts Handshake's vetting process and that Beyond Barnard representative did her job properly. But I knew the entire modus operandi of that means mode of operation of MLMs is their ability to slip through the cracks. I had to do something. I remembered that I still had the Primerica representative's number from when she left me a voicemail message. What else to do but call her and understand what was really going on? I dialed the number and the representative picked up after the first ring. For many reasons, I did not record the conversation. Thus, the following interaction is a reconstruction based on my own memory soon after the conversation took place. Much of it is more or less verbatim, but the rest should be taken as paraphrasing. Please also keep in mind that I maintained a polite and cordial tone and that I have no personal grievance against the representative on the phone. I had no intention of going to the workshop on Tuesday, nor did I call just to expose the company. I simply wanted to confirm my suspicions and get to know the company better, keeping the interests of the college and my peers in mind. Below is a transcript of our conversation. Me. Hi, this is from Barnard Career Fair. I'm sorry I didn't get your message earlier, but I'm glad we got a hold of each other at the same time. Primerica. Don't worry about it. Would you be able to come to our downtown location on Tuesday at 7 p.m.? Me. I'd like to think more about it before I decide to come. Can you tell me exactly what my position would entail? Primerica. Well, I can't tell you that because that's what the 30-minute meeting would be for. Let me find your resume real quick. Me. You can't give me a few sentences on what exactly I would do at the company? Primerica. No, that's what the meeting is for. Me. What would I do at the meeting? Primerica. Well, we give slides on who we are as a company and what we do. Then we'll see if you're qualified and do the interview, and you can get licensed. Me. You have my resume with you, right? Can you see if I'm qualified based on my resume? Primerica. No. What are you interested in? Me. Like what I want to do at the company? Primerica. Yes. You said you're a major in psychology. Me. Yes. I want to major in psychology, but I also have experience with data and customer service. Primerica. And what do you want to do with that? Me. As a career? Primerica. Yes. Me. Well, I'm not sure yet. That's why I went to the career fair. I want to keep my options open. Primerica. See, we have written down that you want to keep your options open. Me. Yes. So that's why I'm interested in understanding what my role will be in the company before I come down on Tuesday. Primerica. Well, what I want to understand is why you didn't ask me that when I was at the career fair. Me. Well, I wasn't completely sure about what the company was yet, so that's why I'm asking now before I decide if I want to come down to your office. Primerica. But that's what the meeting is for. Me. Yes, but I want to understand what the company does before I come down, because it's a 45-minute commute. Primerica. If you're not interested, that's okay, but I have somebody waiting outside my office right now for an interview. Me. Okay, well, thank you and have a good rest of your day. Primerica. You too. How does Primerica assume somebody would apply for a job without even knowing what they're applying for? Why is Primerica representative so nice at the career fair, but strangely aggressive on the phone? It really got me shaken up. After I ended a call, I called back the Beyond Barnard office. I told them what happened, and they agreed that it was very unprofessional. The representative told me she would escalate the process to the dean of Beyond Barnard. I suppose my phone call had an impact, since the next day the Beyond Barnard office sent out a mass email through Handshake regarding Primerica. I'm still hopeful that my efforts will prevent many Barnard students from falling into the Primerica trap, but I am wary of students at other institutions. This mass email states that Primerica was removed from Handshake, but further inspection proved that they still remain on the website. I am unsure if only one Primerica location was removed or if they all were removed and still found their way back. After all this, I called my dad to tell him about what happened. I didn't understand why Primerica was allowed to come to the career fair in the first place. How can an Ivy League university let a pyramid scheme recruit their students? Barnard is an Ivy League. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, but again, like I said, no one's too smart to be fooled by a pyramid scheme. But also, like, just because you're an Ivy League does not mean you're, like, smart. My dad stated that it's not solely the university's fault, it's Handshake's. That's what I said earlier. The vetting process in Handshake is extremely lenient. For his own company, he mentioned he didn't have to enter too much information into the system and got accepted in as little as 10 minutes. I recommend checking out this Handshake article to see how they vet employers. However, even if Handshake had stricter validation procedures, I'm sure MLMs will still be able to alter their wording and find a roundabout way to enter the system. My dad also mentioned that Barnard isn't meant to be on the defensive when inviting employers to career fairs. They're on the offensive. Their goal is to invite as many employers as possible, not keep them out. When a company seems eager to recruit, Barnard is equally as eager to host them. Thus, blatantly fraudulent companies are the exception, not the rule. Besides, MLMs tend to target college career fairs. Where do we go from here? Handshake, an otherwise trustworthy job recruitment platform, led in a pyramid scheme. Not only that, but an Ivy League university invited a pyramid scheme to its career fair. But it's a hard place to blame. And is it that productive, really? Why should we direct our anger toward the victims rather than the root of the problem? These MLM companies are talented at slipping through the cracks and targeting weak spots. Still, our institutions must develop protocols so that they know how to spot a scam. Unfortunately, one layer of vetting will never be enough. After additional research, I discovered that Forbes included Primerica as one of America's 50 most trustworthy financial companies in 2015. You can pay to get in Forbes, so that doesn't matter. Forbes is not like a trustworthy source. Their list is compiled by aggressive accounting and governance risk scores, which included high-risk events, revenue and expense recognition methods, SEC actions, and bankruptcy risk. Thus, the criteria for trustworthy, according to Forbes, was only based on financial reliability. AM Best, an insurance credit rating agency, also had positive things to say. They gave Primerica an A+ financial strength rating, which is defined as being assigned to insurance companies that have a superior ability to meet their ongoing insurance obligations. On their page about Primerica, U.S. News lists only the words AM Best Rating A+, instead of mentioning the fact that this is only a financial review, not a multifaceted assessment. It's evident that even commonly trusted sources of information can fall victim to yellow journalism. When Forbes says a company is trustworthy, U.S. News reports on its A+ rating, you assume that their reporting is holistic and dogmatic. With further inspection, it's more often the case that these news outlets indulge in cherry picking. Thus, they lack contextual information about Primerica's unethical business practices and employee satisfaction. If there's anything to take away from this article, it's that you should be wary of everything you come across and trust your gut instincts above all else. If something feels wrong, it probably is. So, I remember in high school, a lot of the kids signed up for Cutco, and I was like, that's a pyramid scheme. I don't know how I knew about pyramid. I watched a lot of like Married with Children and like 90s shows, a lot of like Saved by the Bell. So like I was very familiar with pyramid schemes, but then I took marketing and I was like, oh, multi-level marketing is also a pyramid scheme. It felt like it. But I had a lot of friends, not a lot, but there were some students in my school who signed up for Cutco, and they like got paid like $1 after like a month, and they like quit because they were like, something's wrong. But they still never were like, oh, this is a pyramid scheme. I think they just like didn't think much about it, and then they like felt embarrassed by it. Also, like the girl that I went to school with that I'm going to talk about, she fell victim to something like this. And it actually wasn't even a big company, but it was because someone that went to our college a year and graduated a year before her was also a part of this thing. And it was like this couple based in New York, and then like a few other people that they recruited. It was just, the entire thing was just off to me. And I later found out from one of my roommates that she tried to recruit him as well, and then she tried to recruit another one of my roommates as well. And she's a very nice girl. That's why I feel so bad. And I've ignored all of her messages. And I actually want to reach out to her after today. Because she's like a really amazing person, and pyramid schemes and MLMs like rip you from your friends and family. So I think you should, if you can, you should try to reestablish those. You should try to reestablish those relationships. And even if that means that you're the one reaching out to the person that tried to recruit you. Because honestly, like, they didn't know any better, I would say. Unless, and there are some people who do know better, but for the most part, like, your family and friends, like, did not know any better. So I'm going to leave her name out of it, and I really hope that I did not say it earlier, but I'm going to go to our messages. So she said, hey, I was thinking about you and how you're part of the business club. I don't know what your goals are or how they are involved with business, but I'm also going to cut out things that will identify my school. So I don't know what your goals are or how they're involved with business, but I was given an opportunity to learn from people that retired at 28 through developing a business asset. I was thinking that you might benefit from learning more. Let me know your thoughts. Hey, that sounds really cool. I'd like to know more. Honestly, I haven't studied business in like 3 years, so my knowledge isn't so fresh. I didn't know anything about business before this opportunity. I work with people that are willing to teach people everything they'll need to be successful if that person's willing to learn. Is there a timeline for the opportunity? No, there's no deadline as to when this would disappear. If you do want to know more info, we can sit down and get to know each other in a business sense. I obviously know you as a friend, and I want to dive deeper into your dreams and goals. Okay, I'm pretty busy for the rest of the week, but free Thursday and Friday after 6. Let's meet this Thursday at 7 p.m. Does work for you? Okay, so at this point, I was like, this is a pyramid scheme because she was like being really vague about what it was. She wasn't saying what the opportunity was. She was like, there's an opportunity. So that's one of the red flags. If someone, they're like, I have this opportunity for you, but they won't tell you what it is. And just like in that other person's story, they didn't tell them what the opportunity was. They had to come to the meeting to find out. That's a red flag. They should be able to describe to you what the business is over the phone through your first interaction, and they should be able to describe what your role would be. They should also be able to describe what your day-to-day would be. So should I put this meeting in my schedule? Yes, works. Great, I'll see you then. I'll have a table by. I know I'm early, so no worries. But there. So she accidentally mixed up the locations. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so we met, we talked. I was like, okay, this is definitely a pyramid scheme, confirmed. She gave me a book that I told her I would read, which in hindsight should have just been like, no, but I am so, oh my God, I'm not confrontational, so it's hard to be like, hey, it was hard for me to be like, hey, this is a pyramid scheme, because I thought she would get like mad at me or something. But she messaged me and was like so she messaged me 9 days later, or is that 10 days later? I don't know. And she said, good morning, are we still on for 1 p.m.? I said, hey, I didn't have as much time as I thought I would after my exams. I'm sorry to inconvenience you, but could we reschedule? She said, I understand. When will you have been able to finish the book by? I didn't respond. Well, then I did respond a few days later, and I said, are you free any of this week? That was when I was going to like break it to her that like, no, I'm not going to do this. That's when I was like going to break it to her. I wish I could remember what the book was called, but I do not. But honestly, I think it was like the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, if I'm being, yeah, it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad, whatever it's called. Are you free any day this week? Ask some time on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. and Thursday at 3 p.m. Okay, so she messaged me again 3 days later. She said, hello, are you meeting this week? And I said, hey, I was like avoiding her because I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. I don't know what to do. And she said, hey, and so I said, hey, I originally thought I'd be able to commit more time, but I don't think I'd be able to commit as much time to your team and vision that would be beneficial for either of us. I've stacked a lot on my plate and lost one of my resources that was helping with that, but we should still hang out sometime. Yes, we should definitely hang out. Will you be in this building soonish so I can grab my book? She messaged again a month later and said, hello, how are you? So I honestly don't think I returned the book. I don't remember. And now I feel really bad because I know that she put, like, looking back, like, and knowing, like, what MLMs are and what, like, pyramid schemes are, I know that she put the money that she did not have into that, like, to buy that book. And she was letting people, like, loaning it off to them to read so that they could join. So I honestly, like, feel so bad about that. Because that was, like, and you know what? Knowing them, that book was probably, like, $50 to $100. So, like, yeah. I feel crappy. And she was a like low income student, just like we were both low income students. She was a low income student, so she came from that background already. But yeah, anyone can fall victim to pyramid schemes. And then, so I just want to tell you the red flags from investor.gov. This is a government website. Okay, so these are the red flags to look for when you're dealing with multi-level marketing companies, which are just pyramid schemes in disguise. They have an emphasis on recruiting. They have no genuine product or service that's being sold. And again, there's still an emphasis on recruiting. Even if like some of them will sell an actual service or product, just like Primerica does. They sell insurance, but the emphasis is on recruiting, and they get most of their money through their recruiting efforts. Promises of high returns in a short period of time. Easy money or passive income. Anytime they're like, this is going to be easy money or passive income, and then you're actually putting in more time than you would in a 9-to-5 to get less pay. Don't believe it. Don't believe the hype. No demonstrated revenue from retail sales. Ask to see documents such as financial statements. Ask to see their financial statements. That's like the no demonstrated revenue from retail sales. If they don't, most MLMs, like won't want to show you their financial statements, and they'll like give you a hard time about it. But any legitimate company wouldn't. And the last red flag is that they have a complex commission structure, meaning like you need to be concerned if commissions are based on how you recruit or like what you sell. You should still be making a livable wage, even if you don't meet those like commission marks. But have you all like dealt with Primerica? Let me know. Any other? I'm not gonna cover pyramid schemes, but this one just came up because I was on the phone when one happened. But let me know what you think. I don't know. This was like really like just off the top of my head. So I'm gonna pull this together and see how the end product looks. But like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, I think I'm doing a giveaway soon. I'm getting really close to 500 subscribers. So once I get there, I can become a like YouTube like little like mini partner, which I think is like super cool. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.